Yesterday, you know who got back in front of the cameras for the return of the White House press briefing, where he appeared to pivot on how America is handling the pandemic. Take a look.
It will probably, unfortunately, get worse before it gets better. Something I don't like saying about things, but that's the way it is. We're asking everybody that when you are not able to socially distance, wear a mask, get a mask. Whether you like the mask or not, they have an impact. If you watch American television, you think that the United States was the only country involved with and suffering from the China virus. Well, the world is suffering very badly.
Okay, aside from saying nonsense like that, he did finally seem to acknowledge that it is going to get worse before it gets better, and he's telling people to wear a mask. Does anybody gather any hope from this, or is this a smokescreen? What do you think is happening here, Sonny?
Well, I could jump in here. If it's going to get worse before it gets better, which he finally has acknowledged, then why is he prepared to send our children to school? That's what I'd like to know from him. You know, and also, where was Dr. Birx? Where was Fauci yesterday? You know, Trump considers himself an expert. I consider my dog, who knows more about the coronavirus than Trump does. So we need to have Dr. Birx, who was hiding her. Oh, she's back in the thing there. What, are you keeping her in the closet, afraid that she'll come out? So that's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. If it's going to get worse and you finally admit it, you finally put the mask on, and then he says eventually it disappears. Yeah, how many people have to die when eventually it will disappear? Then why are the children going back to school? I like to push this because I really think it's very dangerous what they're doing.
Sonny, I'll give you the same question. Is it a smokescreen? Is he learning anything? What is this, in your opinion?
For me, it was too little, too late. I mean, we have almost 150,000 Americans that have died. I agree with Joy. If it's going to get worse before it gets better, we are a month away from children going back to school. We know that in many states, like Florida, the governors are saying, you know, full steam ahead, children are going back to school. And we also know that this president has said that he is cutting funding for those schools that are refusing to open, instead of maybe flooding those schools with money so that schools can open safely with the proper precautions. And so for me, I was dismayed at the fact that there were no experts standing alongside him, like a Dr. Fauci, who I believe is the leading expert in the country on this. So why wasn't he there? I want to listen to the scientists. I want to listen to the experts. I don't want to listen to the president because, again, he's been peddling in so much misinformation. I just don't trust him. And if you look at the polls, most Americans don't trust him when it comes to his handling of the coronavirus, and they don't trust the information that he's been giving the country.
Right. So, Megan, what is your take on the briefing yesterday? Is this smokescreen? Is there something to be gleaned from this?
Yeah, as Sonny said, his poll numbers in regards to his handling of the coronavirus are really staggering. It averages around 20 points. The American public thinks that Joe Biden would be better at handling this pandemic than President Trump has. I do think this is sort of a last-ditch effort, given that he sees how unpopular his handling has been. I actually thought I watched it. I actually thought it was really good and informative. Up until the point, and excuse me for butchering her name, the Epstein pervert lady, Gasoline, I don't know how to say her name, up until he said and answered that he thought she was like, he wished her well and she's a good person, this sex trafficking lady. Why are you, again, it completely blew up any conversation we're having about the coronavirus, any movement we're talking about when, you know, him talking about how things are going to get worse before they get better, sort of seeming to listen to scientists and talk about masks in a way we've never heard. But this is my constant problem with him in this administration, is that even when he tries, he steps on his messaging so egregiously that it was the only thing I was talking about afterward was this weird comment about this woman who's accused of being a pedophile sex trafficking person with Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I can't pronounce her name.
Yeah. Ghislaine Maxwell.
Her name is
Thank you.
Ghislaine
Sorry.
Maxwell.
Thank you.
It took him
Yeah,
14
yeah.
days to send his best wishes to John Lewis. And this woman, he's sending his wishes to her. Apparently, he says, I wish her well, to other convicted felons. He said it to Manafort, he said it to Roger Stone, and now he's saying it to this alleged sex trafficker. That's who he talks to. And a lot of people are saying he's signaling something. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
No, to that point, I'm not a conspiracy theorist by nature, but what is going on that you have something nice to say about this person who's being accused of some of the most egregious crimes a human being can be accused of? And there's a lot of conspiracy theories with Epstein and her and their power connection. And it's the first time I ever thought, wait, like, what is your connection to her? Which I always thought up until this point was nothing. So it's just bizarre. And again, we're talking about this, or I'm talking about this, and not the coronavirus.
And that's what's odd to me. I mean, I know that I have a legal note, but, you know, many people are saying that was some sort of tell for her, because he does have the power to pardon. He does have the yes, he does have the power to pardon, you know, Ghislaine Maxwell, because she has been, I believe she's been charged with 6 counts for her alleged involvement with Epstein's sexual abuse case, and she's being held without bail at this point. She has pled not guilty, of course, but why would the President of the United States wish her well? That really is the question, isn't it?
Yes.
Let me correct something.
It's not
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have to correct something I said.
Yeah.
Because I said he waited 14 days to comment on John Lewis, or 14 hours. I get excited. And the other thing about him is he says, I don't know her. I don't know anything about it. There are so many pictures of him with her. Do we have to really, are we ever going to believe that he doesn't know about this story, that he's not following this story? His picture is plastered all over the place with her. Give me a break.
Also, how hard is it to
stupid does he
say
think we are?
she's an alleged pedophile pervert? I hope she rots in jail if that's accurate. It's not that hard. Just not that hard.
Apparently it is if you're good friends.